Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Butler.
And I'm Mike Field.
And welcome to Forgotten Cinema Lead Up. Each episode, we highlight a film from a popular series and follow it all the way to its most recent release. We'll discuss what we love about the movie or maybe don't love about it, but we'll always recommend you revisit it, even the not so good ones. Let's get into it.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. As you know, I was a helicopter pilot in the dystopian future. And, there's these people were rioting because they needed food and water and supplies. And so I was ordered to gun them down, and they were innocent, unarmed men, women, and children. I said no. So, of course, the rest of the helicopter crew took me out. I got arrested, sent to prison. I escaped prison, got sent back to prison because the woman I kidnapped, she thought I was the butcher of Bakersfield because apparently I'm famous now for actually killing all those people I refused to kill. And I got sent to this game show called The Running Man. That's right. Now, me and my revolutionary buddies from prison are running for our lives, avoiding these stalkers on this game show for the chance for freedom. But really, there's no freedom. And on the way, the lady who got me arrested again, the lady I kidnapped, gets sent into the games as well because she suddenly had a brief flash of conscience and found my tape that shows I'm actually an innocent man, which they stupidly just left in a very unsecured room, ready for anybody to take and watch the tapes.
I know.
So now I'm the head of the revolution all of a sudden. I don't know. It's unclear.
Hey, my final note for the entire viewing, because I take notes when I watch it, and then obviously I do facts afterwards, was pour me some of that 80s sci-fi cheese. That's right. We're doing The Running Man. So obviously, if this is a lead up, we are going to be doing the now showing of The Running Man that's starring Glenn Powell, directed by Edgar Wright. That's coming out now November 14th, not the 7th, which is thank God for us because for some reason we doubled up because we're also doing Predator Badlands. So we want to lead up with the original, the 1987 version. So let's get into the facts and then let's get into our discussion. The Running Man has a runtime of 101 minutes. It's rated R. Production budget of $27 million. It came out on November 13th, 1987. That was a Friday. Its opening weekend, it did $8 million. Its domestic was $38 million. There's no international release. The note I got was that because the film wasn't backed by a major studio, it had a staggered worldwide theatrical release because it was sold off to smaller distributors in various territories. So it wasn't sometimes international is done by one distributor, or sometimes it's done by several bigger distributors that do it across the international territories, but this one was not done that way. It was just smaller distributors. So I don't think there's I couldn't find numbers. I don't think there's a lot of numbers that didn't do as well. I mean, it wasn't even released in England and Ireland until 10 months after it came out of the US. So,
wow.
But this is 87. So, this is probably at the beginning of, because the international box office really doesn't take off, I think, until maybe somewhere in the 80s, just because of the action films and the stuff that translates better overseas. So there is no number for worldwide. That's what I'm getting to. So excuse me, for international. So its worldwide total is also the same as domestic, $38 million. A production company was Taft Entertainment Pictures, Keith Barish Productions, and HBO. And it was distributed by TriStar Pictures. I love that TriStar. I want to do this, but I think I want you to do this. Like for me, like I want to be tested, or maybe I'll test you. Who knows? I just want to play the opening music of all these studios, not just new, but older ones. Let's see if you can catch it, if you could picture them. Yeah. Because you don't think about it. Yeah. And then TriStar comes on, you're like, TriStar. Yeah, exactly. Here goes Pegasus. Anyway. So this comes out the 13th. Let's go back to the 6th. You had a wide release of Hello Again, Death Wish 4, The Crackdown, Hiding Out, Ruskies, Less Than Zero, and Made in Heaven. You also had limited releases of Steel Dawn and Cry Freedom. Butler, do any of those movies sound familiar to you?
Made in Heaven sounds familiar, and maybe Steel Dawn.
So Made in Heaven is with Timothy Hutton, and he dies, and he goes to heaven, and he falls in love with a woman up there, but she is a new soul, so she has yet to live on Earth. Yeah,
I saw that once on like HBO or something a long time ago, back in like high school. Okay.
Steel Dawn is with Patrick Swayze. I watched the trailers for all these, and I was watching the trailer for it, and I'm like, if we did like Forgotten Cinema, but like we had a season where we just did like cheesy, looks terrible films, like that would be one of the picks that we put in there. So Hello Again's the same thing. It's Shelley Long, and she is resurrected. She comes back, and her husband Corbin Burns are married to somebody else. So but she's alive, and like she comes back to So it's what's funny is I've seen the movie because I'm like, oh man, I have seen this film because I could just picture it. Obviously, Death Wish 4 is just a sequel to Death Wish. Hiding Out, I'm surprised you. Hiding Out and Ruskies, I'm surprised you don't know about, because Hiding Out is with John Cryer. He is a stockbroker, and he unknowingly, his buddy gets him to launder money, but it's for the mob. So the mob kills his friend, so he has to hide out basically, and he goes back to his hometown, changes his hairstyle, and he goes to high school. So he's like a 30-year-old guy and goes to high school trying to hide out from the mob. And then it's like, he falls in love with a girl, stuff like that. So, real appropriate. And then Ruskies is with Peter Billingsley and Joaquin Phoenix when they're young. They're in like San Diego or something like that. And a Russian sub, some guy falls from a Russian sub, like a surveillance sub, and he washes up on shore. And it's also like this, like the anti-USSR and US, all those tensions, and like they're hiding this Russian guy, from like all these guys, these Americans that are searching for him. But it's when you watch the trailer, it looks like a Goonies type thing, but it's actually pretty serious.
I was gonna say, is it E.T. but with a Russian guy instead of an alien?
Sort of, but it's more like serious. It's more like like there's serious undertones. So I was like, wow. But I thought you would have known some of those. So interesting.
No.
So when this film came out the 13th, it was the only wide release. It only went up against a limited release of Cross My Heart, and then you had the week after, the 20th of November, you had a wide release of Teen Wolf 2, Flowers in the Attic, Date with an Angel, and limited releases of Nuts and The Last Emperor. Obviously, you're a big Teen Wolf 2 buddy. I'm sure you're not. I'm sure you're a big fan of that. Boxing.
I know Teen Wolf 2. I know of Flowers in the Attic. I've never seen it, but I know of it. And then
based on the V.C. Andrews books.
Yeah, and then the last one you said I know.
The Last Emperor.
Yeah, obviously, The Last Emperor.
You don't remember Nuts with Barbara Streisand, Richard Dreyfuss? She's like he's representing her.
Yeah, I didn't know what the movie's title was, but I know what movie that is. I've never seen that either. I know of it.
Mm-hmm. And so that's what the Running Man came up. I believe the Running Man's probably biggest competition is like, I guess Teen Wolf 2, because it's a sequel, but I don't really know if Teen Wolf 2 was really like, people were like, oh, Teen Wolf's great, I can't wait for the second one. Wait, Michael J. Fox not in it? So it's,
Jason Bateman.
Exactly.
This film is directed by Paul Michael Glaser. He's done Band of the Hand, The Cutting Edge, The Air Up There, but also you probably know him better as Starsky from Starsky and Hutch. I don't know if you knew who that was, Butler.
I did not. I mean, I know who Starsky is from Starsky and Hutch, but
yes, no, I know, I got you. And so it was written by Stephen E. D'Souza, who's done Die Hard, 48 Hours.
A movie we did.
Commando and Judge Dredd. Cinematographer was Thomas Del Ruth, who's done Stand By Me. He's done the TV show The West Wing, for he won 2 Emmys there. He also did the pilot episode for The X-Files.
Hey,
not sure if you knew that. Composer, we have 2 composers. One is uncredited. Harold Faltermeyer is the composer on credit, and then Vassal Benford is the uncredited composer. Faltermeyer he was nominated for an Oscar for Beverly Hills Cop 2. He's done the Fletch movies and Top Gun. I believe he did Top Gun Maverick as well. I'm not sure though. That doesn't make sense. Why would he do Top Gun? Wasn't that? Whatever. Vassal Benford has done New Jack City.
A movie we did.
Class Act in The Sixth Man. Edited by Mark Warner, Edward Washilka, and John Wright. Warner has nominated for an Oscar for Driving Miss Daisy. He's also done 48 Hours and Lara Croft Tomb Raider. And Washilka has done
for our
yes
video game console to screen series.
Remember that one? Warshoka has done Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from LA, and he was nominated for an Emmy for The Pacific. John Wright was nominated for 2 Oscars. He's done Speed and The Hunt for October, and he won an Emmy for Sarah Plain and Tall. I know I'm doing the Emmy stuff, but I don't know why I'm doing it this time around. Produced by George Linder and Tim Zinnemann. Linder has done Nightcomer and She, Me, and Her, which I could not find a trailer for, so I don't know if that exists. And Zinnemann has done Street Fighter, another
movie
one
we
that
did on
we
the console
did.
screen.
That's right. The Island of Dr. Moreau. And he was nominated for an Emmy for the Jericho Mile.
So many Emmys.
I know. I thought this film had a small cast, but it doesn't. I'll get to the main ones and I'll kind of shout out some other ones. Obviously, Arnold Schwarzenegger plays our lead. He plays Ben Richards. Everyone probably knows him from Hercules in New York. He's also done Raw Deal and Last Action Hero.
A movie we did.
That's right. He's obviously in other bigger films, but I just try to give you some you might not know.
Have you actually seen Hercules in New York? I've never seen it. I've only seen a part.
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's as terrible as it sounds. Maria Conchita Alonso is Amber Mendez. Excuse me. She's in Predator 2, The Lords of Salem, and The House of the Spirits. Yaphet Kotto as Laughlin from Alien,
a movie we did on our Alien series.
Live and Let Die and Homicide: Life on the Street. That's a TV show. Marvin McIntyre as Weiss, the other guy that breaks out of the prison with Ben Richards and Laughlin. He's in Short Circuit. He's in Back to the Future 3 in the movie Pale Rider. And then here are some of our quote unquote American gladiators that are our stalkers, as you will. Jim Brown as Fireball from The Dirty Dozen, Mars Attacks, Any Given Sunday. Jim Brown's obviously a famous running back for the Cleveland Browns back in the day. Jesse Ventura as Captain Freedom, Predator, Demolition Man. He is also in an X-Files episode. Which X-Files episode, Butler?
Is he?
Yes.
Oh,
he plays the Man in Black.
Black.
Yes, you do. He's the Man in Black. Jose Chung's from Outer Space. He's in that episode.
God, he is. That's right.
Yes. Terrible.
I just blanked on that. I like that episode too. Damn.
Erland von Linth as Dynamo. We'll get to him. He's in Stir Crazy and Alone in the Dark. Gus Rethwish as Buzzsaw from Twins and Scorpion King. Nobody knows what movies they've been in. Professor Toru Tanaka as Sub-Zero, the original Sub-Zero, if you will, from Three Ninjas and Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And then those are our stalkers. And then we have our main bad guy, Richard Dawson, as Damon Killian. Obviously, everyone should know him from Family Feud, but he's also in a TV show called Hogan's Heroes, if you didn't know. And then you've got a couple other people in there. Sven Olaus Thorsen as Sven, basically. He might look familiar. He is the guy. In this movie, he is Killian's kind of bodyguard a little bit. But he is in Gladiator. He plays the gladiator that he fights that has all the tigers around him. So
at the beginning when he's still in Africa.
So that's this actor right here. Obviously much younger back then. So I thought that was pretty cool. He's also in Call the Conqueror, which we did for the show. So
we did.
I know. So he was in that too. I almost wanted to go back. And then this is Kurt Fuller's first film. He's plays Tony, the TV guy. He's obviously
and he'll play that same character for the rest of his career,
even all the way in the show Psych. Ken Lerner as his agent, as the court appointed talent agent, which I loved. He is one of the original. He was a principal for a couple episodes in Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show.
Yep.
I knew that the woman that picks Buzzsaw in the beginning was familiar. I'm like, that woman looks familiar. That's Lynn Marie Stewart. She is, she was in It's Always Sunny. She played Charlie's mother. She just passed away this year, actually, a couple months ago. Lynn Shay is in here. Butler, another Insidious ref, but I couldn't find her. She plays a propaganda officer.
She's in the, when they first go to the control room, she's in the background writing on a notepad. And I'm like, it's Elise from Insidious. And she has no lines. She doesn't speak a single word. And her head is like mostly turned to the side. Like but it's like it's there. Catch it and miss it.
And then Nick Fleetwood from Fleetwood Mac is in there. He plays our main, what's the word I'm looking for?
Rebellion leader.
Head of the rebellion. Yes. Okay. So that is, there's other facts we can get into, but that's the main facts. I'm curious. So you hadn't seen this film in a while. I've seen this film off and on. I always quote this film. Though this episode will probably devolve into quotes at some point, because I think and we'll talk about that a little bit. But as always, does this film hold up for you? I guess that's my first question.
I mean, it holds up for me in terms of I have a reverence for this kind of film because I grew up watching a lot of these, like Die Hards, the Terminators, the Demolition Mans, even like all like I think like mid to late 80s through the early, probably petered out in the mid 90s action films where it's terrible one-liners, ridiculous kills. The hero is like this big buff guy who's getting out of there like almost scot-free. I mean, he's getting banged up, but he just walks out no matter what. So I have a reverence for those kind of films. I think what this film is kind of trying to say is interesting, but I don't know if it's clearly parodying I think films like this. It's also but it is a film like this, and it's trying to say something about totalitarian governments and people who have like controlled media and that we the way we consume media. I'm sure it's trying to say something about all of that, but I don't know if they get that point across that well because it's just so silly. But I really enjoy it, but it is a movie of its time. So when I say I enjoy it, it's because I already have a lot of those movies in my, movie repertoire that I love. Had I not and been someone who doesn't really watch a lot of movies and is my age or someone younger, I don't know if I'd have the same opinion. So I really like this movie, but I think it's because of the other movies I watched.
Well, it's a film that is in the sphere of Arnold films. So there are probably a group of like 10 to 15 films from this era, from the 80s to the mid 90s, where it's just Arnold Schwarzenegger beating the crap out of people. And some of those are really good and some of those are just okay. Like I'm not a 6 Day guy. I don't like that movie as much as a lot of other people like that movie. I know you do. I know you like the 6 Day, but I'm just saying.
Eraser is my bad Arnold movie. I can't stand Eraser.
It's okay. Eraser's all right. Well, the stuff in the 90s kind of petered out a little bit because he was trying to do a little bit more serious stuff. Like when it's just straight like Commando, this film, The Running Man, even like Raw Deal, like these films that are just clearly he's kicking ass. Like that's the film. Those are the films, and that's what he wanted. That's what you want him to do. You want him to cut those one-liners. You want him to say those stupid lines. Hey, Killian, I told you this was going to happen. This is Sub-Zero now. Plane Zero, and you're just like, yeah, I love it. Like I don't care. But that's what this film is. I think going in what you know what you want when you want to see this film. When you sit down to the theater in the 80s, you're like, give me the Arnold. So when you say it's of the time, I think of that. I think like, yes, that's when you know what you're sitting down for. It's kind of like watching a Hammer film, kind of like watching an exploitation film. Like you know what you want, and you get it, and you're satisfied. But like when you start dissecting this film and when you start kind of sitting down looking for plot stuff and, yes, there are tons of plot holes and there are tons of just what are we doing here? Like, it's just ridiculous. And, but again, like it's just that's not why we're there. So I get it. I can't defend that movie. I can't defend the movie for it being, I can't. Like when you compare this film to, let's say, a True Lies, like True Lies is awesome, but True Lies has a better script, obviously. And True Lies has a better director, as a director that knows what he's doing. Not that Paul Michael Glaser doesn't, but when we'll get into this a little bit, when you read about the history of just how they got this got to the screen, it went through like a bunch of different hands. So, but yeah, I agree with you, but I still like this film. I still love the lines. I still love the action. It's the one thing that I guess that was different for me with this watch than what I remember is I didn't realize there was so much stuff beforehand before he starts the game.
Yeah.
You always just remember the Running Man. You always just remember that stuff, but you don't remember him trying to get away, all that stuff. You don't ever remember any of that.
I remember the helicopter scene always.
Yes. Yep.
And I totally forgot the prison break. Or no, I kind of remember the prison break because I remember him in that stupid smock apron.
When the prison break pops on, I'm like, oh, that's right. That's how it starts. Like, yes.
And then I'm like, what? Now he's in the city? But then he lifts the exercise machine and I'm like, okay, I remember that. Mm-hmm. And then his stupid shirt, I'm like, okay, I know I've seen that. So it's a lot of that. But yeah, that it takes time. Then he still then he meets Killian, and then he gets these weird injections, which we still don't know what those are. And then he gets gas, then he goes to the show.
That. Yeah. The barium tracer, I get, but then there was 2 other injections. I'm like, okay, so what are these things now? And
I was like, I said tracer. I was like the same thing, and then I was like, wait, so did they suicide squad him? Does he have like a bomb? Was that something I forgot?
Who knows? Yeah, who knows? And just to give you a little bit more insight in terms of like the Arnold effect of films, I know I told you this story. I saw Total Recall with my cousin opening weekend, and it was at Showcase Milford, and the house was packed. It was packed, and we were down in like the 5th row, 6th row. We were close, and the scene comes on when after he gets recalled and he leaves, and the guy grabs him. He's like, "You blabbed, Quaid. You blabbed about Mars." He's like, "What is going on here?" And then he beats the crap out of the 4 guys and he kills them. Yeah. When that happened in the theater, the entire theater erupted in applause. Like everyone was like, "Yeah!" Like that's the type of atmosphere in the 80s and early 90s when you went to go see an Arnold Schwarzenegger film opening weekend. Like that's what we wanted, and that's what we got. So that's I kind of was give you a glimpse of that as well. Just I don't know. I guess I'm being nostalgic tonight. So I guess let me go quickly into because I teased it a little bit, the directors that were brought on that kind of left and why they left. I'll do it really quickly. So there were 4 directors that were hired and then fired before Glazer was brought on. George Cosmatos. I'm not sure. He's the guy that started to direct Tombstone. And then remember there's that whole behind the scenes stuff where they fired him. Yeah. He wanted to relocate the entire film to a shopping mall. And then then the producer was like, "No, we're not doing that. That's not what we want." So he was let go. Carl Schneckel was brought on, but he was asked to do it. He turned it down because he didn't feel comfortable helming such a large production. So he wanted to do something small. So I think he was hired, then he left. Ferdinand Fairfax, was taking the screenplay into a different direction and started adding like Monty Python type humor into it. So the producer was like, "No, that's not what I want." Andrew Davis was brought on, got the project going, got it into production, and then 8 days into the shoot, he was $8 million over the budget and 4 days behind schedule. So he was fired. Yeah. So he was fired after 8 days. And then that's when they brought Glazer. And they brought Glazer because I guess I said he was in Starsky and Hutch, but a lot of his directing credits were TV credits. And in TV, even back then, maybe not so much now, but back then you had to be fast and get things done and make quick decisions. So that's why he was brought on, because you already had a project that was over budget already and already behind. So he had to kind of like catch up. So yeah,
$8 million in 4 days over budget.
That's like the story. I remember when I was talking to a producer and they were like, "Yeah, and I optioned the script and that we were going to go ready to shoot." And then it was a first time director and he's like, "I need $10 million more." It's like, it's your first project. Just do the movie.
Oh, I think you told me that story.
Yeah. It's like, but how can you make demands? You have no leverage. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. I guess, I mean, where would you like to go from here? Like what were some kind of themes, or is there theme in this? I know you kind of talked a little bit about it, but
I mean,
I think strong enough?
I think there's themes, but they're, I don't know, not at the expense, I guess at the expense of just Arnold's one-liners, Killian trying to steal the scenes he's in and getting those one-liners in. But I think there's themes of, totalitarian governments and control, kind of like a 1985 or a Brazil kind of thing. And you definitely see that in terms of the TV, the same stuff you see in Brazil to what you're seeing on TV and stuff like that. But I feel like they could say more, and maybe this new movie will say more. I never read The Running Man. I should have, because we've planned this lead up for long enough. I could have read it. I know my father probably has a copy of it. Is it a shorter story?
It's in the same collection that The Long Walk is in.
It's part of his collection.
Yeah. This is for those who don't know, this is Richard Bachman, obviously, who is Stephen King. So that's where this story originally comes from.
Yeah, I should have read it beforehand, but I'm sure the new movie will probably deal with some of this stuff, because I can't see how if that's got to be the underwriting themes on the story as well.
The original, in the book, it's like he signs up because they have no money. His daughter's sick. His wife is a prostitute because they need to make money. I don't know if that's going to be in this one, but that's clearly what happens in this. He signs up for the Running Man, and it's much like you're not hunted by stalkers. You're hunted by everybody.
Yeah, anybody and everyone can kill you.
Right.
Yeah.
So it seems like the new movie is going to follow the book a little bit more. I don't know if they're going to do the prostitute angle, but that was in the book. So it's and that's a decent remake, because you're not redoing everything from this one. You're doing an adaptation of the book, so which is good, something different, but it's still the same kind of storyline. But I mean, I don't get. Again, there's no one that's going to replicate Arnold, like in terms of his presence and his the one line. So don't even try. So don't even try to get to that point. You spoke of Killian, and much like I think with Bull Hurley in Over the Top, I think this is almost like perfect casting for Richard Dawson as Killian. He is really, really good in this role, which is funny because they originally wanted Chuck Woolery and he turned him down because he was too busy doing Scrabble on another show. But I guess I could have seen Chuck Woolery in that, but Dawson was so good as Killian.
He does such a good job as, like, I can see Woolery doing well as the presenter portion, but what we get with Dawson, he's so good at being the bad guy behind the scenes. He is so good at just, when that guy mops his foot and just him going from, no, bless you, but how you doing, buddy? No, I don't know how you doing. If he's still mopping floors at this point tomorrow, you can consider yourself out of the door. Like, he just the way he says these lines are just like, he is so good at being an asshole. And I don't know if any other game show host that they bring on, though they may behind the scenes be that way, I don't know if they could really have played it as just perfect as he does.
Yeah, there was a note where like people were saying that that's how he was on the set of Family Feud with people that didn't do their job right. But that I can't buy that, because I mean, the only thing about Richard Dawson that I know is that he's a big time flirt, which you could see that on screen when he's at Family Feud. He's always kissing the ladies and stuff like that. But like typically when you watch a film where the guy plays such a good jerk off, he's a decent guy off screen. So it's just almost like watching the Richard Dawson playing an exaggerated version of himself. But but that's great. He leaned into it, and I think he's just, he was almost perfect casting. So it was great. I'm glad that, and I always think that because you want somebody that's gonna, he's not necessarily somebody that's obviously gonna fight Schwarzenegger.
Arnold.
He's not going to fight Arnold. Yeah, he's not going to, but he could. But the next best thing is to just be a complete, douche and be a dick and just kind of like just be oblivious to, just be really evil. So I think that works. And at the end it's great too, because when he gets to do to him is you're cheering at the end. So that was cool.
When he goes through the sign and blows up. Where are those nets?
All those nets are there for the game.
He's like, the sign was like out the building and to the left when they're running, but all of a sudden when he's going through, it's just a straight shot.
There's no rhyme or reason to the 4 zones that they're in, where that were produced.
The 2 different alleyways that they do in different angles.
The quake of 97 that nobody goes into the zone, but when they start chasing, there's people there cheering them on. And it makes no sense. There are countless parts in this film that is, you just start scratching your head and wondering like how, like for instance, when at the end of I always remember the big ending of the film when they show the video stuff. And they're like, the last year's winners, and they kind of have pictures of like, okay, so that's fine. Never mind the fact that how'd you get that? But the other one is like, why do you have so when they fight Fireball and Fireball goes in there and burns her, and then they blow him up, why do you have cameras in that room if you're trying to hide the dead bodies of
I was thinking the same thing. I was going to bring that same thing up. It makes no sense. like she's in the room with the winners, but it's cool because we're in here too, showing it to the rest of the nation. Made no sense at all. And Fireball basically admits it. You mean last year's losers? just admit the game's rigged. Like that's just so
yeah, and there's little things like that pop up throughout the film. Like, you know, Amber has this highly publicized they capture Ben Richards with her, and then all of a sudden, like, we never knew she worked at ICS, and then she shows up, but nobody says anything to her about this huge incident with Ben Richards. She's just walking around like nobody knows who she is. I think you would know who she is. You know,
she made the jingle.
Yeah. You know, when Amber is like in the zone and he's trying to help her, she's fighting him for some reason. I don't know why. He's just trying to keep her safe, and she's just fighting him. I believe this is when Fireball is chasing them, or maybe
she wants to go one way and he's like, no, this way. To be fair, she's right, because Arnold runs into Fireball.
Yeah. At the end of the film, when they kind of mock up the fake death that Captain Freedom kills Ben Richards, and then Killian leaves the control center. He's like, you're all picked up. Don't worry, everyone's all picked up. I'm like, the show is going to get canceled. Like, I thought the show was this is one episode. Like, now all of a sudden the show is on the brink of cancellation.
I had the same, like, why is he so worried? It's the #1 show on television. He's having one bad night. And it's like, oh, you're 8 points, but you want to get to 10. 8 points was still the #1 show on television, apparently. So who cares? And also, it's state-run media. Who cares if you had a bad night? Because they can just erase whatever else.
You control
happened.
it. Yeah. And they don't really. I mean, they explain the whole thing how they're going to get the network and the satellite, but they don't really. And even at the end of the film, you know, they're like. Okay, you beat ICS. You beat the television station's guards. I'm pretty sure the National Guard or the Army or the Armed Forces are on their way to you.
Military's coming, or they're just going to send an entire missile down the chute of the skyscraper. Yeah. You're not winning.
And now you got the link up. So now they're going to know that the rebellion is within the zone where, you know, that they have this game. So you're going to have to go into hiding. So there's a ton of stuff like that that you're just kind of like, that doesn't make sense, but okay. I'm not here for that.
We destroyed the TV show host. We've saved America.
I'm here for stuff like what happened to Buzzsaw. He had to split. That's what I'm here for.
I love that he's got a cigar. Anytime he's not like arrested, he's got a cigar. Somehow he has found a cigar in this movie.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to do this movie, but I'm going to smoke a lot of cigars.
I love that at the end, when he changes out of his Running Man gear and he gets into his rebel clothing, it's just the vest from the ICS that he's wearing. He's just wearing a bad guy vest, and they're just like running around like, what? And
he's super undercover at that point.
And I don't know if he has yet to have any kind of training about how to shoot a gun, because he is shooting a gun very weirdly in this film sometimes towards the end.
Like that's just how he shoots a gun. Because in Predator, he holds it kind of like this as well.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's just because they're trying to say that he doesn't know. I mean, because he gets better later on in movies. It's just, it seemed awkward sometimes. Or maybe it was the gun itself. Let's talk about Dynamo.
Dynamo.
He is this is my quote when he comes on. I go, Dynamo has always been and still is ridiculous. I do not understand how terrifying Dynamo can possibly be when he's wearing light brights. And okay, yes, he can shoot electricity. He drives the stupidest looking vehicle
that he can barely fit into.
And he can barely, just get him out. Just have him chase you down because he can't catch you. He is so dumb.
All they do is run halfway up a hill and he ends up almost killing himself.
And then
also, if you see that shot where it tumbles over, whoever is driving that car to that shot wrecks their head against the hill when it flips over. I'm watching. I go, whoever that stunt double was just got messed up.
That's how you do it, baby. He is just. I do not understand his. Just his purpose.
And then he like doubles down on it. He comes out in his tidy whities, but still his light bright on.
Well, he's clearly like he's trying to rape her in the middle of the hallway. That's what's happening. But they kind of glossed over it. They kind of just kind of like
where are his pants? Was he like, I'm going to hunt her down in my tidy whities?
Yeah. They're suddenly gone. And like in the midst of this chaos inside of this ICS building, he's trying to do this in the hallway.
In the middle of the hallway, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I first watched the film, because it's 87, so I'm 12. So I'm probably watching when I was 13, 14, something like that. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, what? Why are his pants down now? And then as I watched it, I got older. Then it was like, what? What is he doing? Why is that a thing?
That's what he was trying to do in the other place too. That's why he zaps her with the yellow lightning, not the blue.
It's, again, he has always been ridiculous and he still will be. And what's sad is that this actor died like 2 months before this movie comes out. He had a heart attack, which is, sucks, but still, Dynamo stinks. I hate Dynamo. And there's a part when they first see him and he shoots, and then he starts walking towards them in the shadow. He's talking, right. He's singing.
Oh,
like his mouth is moving.
They don't have any audio for it. Yeah.
I think he's singing and they just cut it. So like, I'm just like
the singing. That was enough singing at the beginning.
I'm like, I can see his mouth moving, guys.
Yeah, that was enough. That was we did too much opera.
Any other stalkers you don't like, or were you okay with the stalkers?
I mean, Sub-Zero's like, I like the concept of Sub-Zero. And from a concept of, hey, let's turn the Running Man into like a Nintendo game, which I believe it was.
Mm-hmm. I saw. I meant to send it to you, Mike. On YouTube, they show the gameplay for the Running Man. I should have sent it to you. Somebody plays through it. I was going to send it to you. I forgot. I will after this.
But I mean, in terms of making him a video game character, he totally works because he's like the boss fight where all of a sudden he's in a hockey rink. But like he's such a specialized. Of all of them, he's such a specialized stalker. It's like, you better hope they go into the hockey rink area, or else what are you going to do?
I know, because they choose the stalkers. They choose the stalkers. So then, then you have to get him to where his stalking's going to be.
Someone nice and cuddly. So like, I get it, but also he's a very specific stalker. And also the rules of the game aren't very clear, because it's just like, does it have to be one stalker? Can it be two stalkers? Does Killian just really want them dead? Because all of a sudden, it's like, no one can decide. By the way, it's like each person was just like, I don't know.
I hated the guy. Because he was like almost in tears, like he's a big whiner. It's like, dude,
I can't choose.
I know. I'm like, oh God,
why not both? I was disappointed, I guess, in that what's his face? Captain Freedom there didn't get an actual showdown.
Mm-hmm.
Like you set up this computer match where he wins and beats this other person whose face was put Arnold's face was put on. But like, I was like waiting. I was like, I don't remember them fighting, but I was still kind of waiting for that fight, because it's like, it's kind of anticlimactic that he just kind of shoots Killian down the chute. Like, I was waiting for there to be an actual showdown with that character, and it wasn't.
Yeah. The kind of Captain Freedom just like disappeared, and then that was it. It was done. It was, it didn't, it was weird. It was just weird that Ventura's there and then he's gone.
Yeah. Look at this. There's no honor in this. Look at this arm. He's explaining.
And he says to him, no, you're going to do it. You're going to go out there and do it. And then the next scene is they fake it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. It's like, he didn't say no.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they were just like, we got to get this movie over with. We got to keep it under 2 hours. Because like, I was really waiting for like this final fight where Arnold has to actually fight somebody in a fair fight, because each of the other fights has been anything but fair.
Well, on both sides, on their side, yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. Let me give you some reviews. Your boy Ebert. All the action scenes are versions of the same scenario, but he praised Dawson's performance, saying that, quote, he has at last found the role he was born to play. All right. Big fan of Dawson. Vincent Canby from the New York Times says, the film has the manners and gadgetry of a sci-fi adventure film, but is at heart an engagingly mean, cruel, nasty, funny send-up of television. It's not quite network, but then it also doesn't take itself too seriously. So Camby's a fan, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's a fair review.
David Keir of the Chicago Tribune says, quote, "It's a format, all right, but it may be too much of a format for a feature-length film, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, a former state security officer framed as the perpetrator of a notorious public massacre, sitting in as victim of the week. The Running Man has little to do but run through the game's 4 stages." So I think he was not impressed.
Okay. I mean, he's just describing the plot of the film.
Yeah, I know. Would you have been okay with Christopher Reeve as Ben Richards? Because he was originally cast.
I think it would have been different.
It would have been like probably what we're going to get in the remake.
Yeah,
but yes.
you'd need him to get beat up more. I would say he can't do the Arnold one-liners. Only Arnold can do those.
I think Arnold's just putting those in there. I think they're written for him, but I don't think they're in the original script.
Arnold's certainly putting in "I'll be back." Which Killian's got that. They went back and added it. They went back and added that in because he said something else. And then because "I'll be back" became popular, he came back and supposedly they did it that way. I mean, I like it. Normally I would hate it, but it works only because Killian's got to come back to it. And it's like, oh, he said the line. And Killian's just like, only in a rerun. Right. So the line, that's good because you reuse that line, but you're obviously in Terminator, it's like, ooh, but in this one, it's like, he's not scared. So yeah, which is good. Yeah. If this movie looks familiar to everybody, like maybe you remember watching American Gladiators, this movie was used by one of the producers of American Gladiators when he pitched it to people. He showed the show. He sold the show with the clips from this film. And he's like, we're going to do this, but without the murdering part. I always thought that anytime I see this, I'm like, this really reminds me of American Gladiator. Yeah. Which, hey, that's inspiration comes in many forms. That's great. I didn't realize that some of the helicopter footage was from King Kong. Did you see that note? I saw that note and I was like, in what scene? Like I'd have to rewatch. I've only seen that one once, the 80s one or the 70s one, but I'd have to rewatch to see what scene. I don't remember a night scene with helicopters. Yeah, it must be in the beginning or something. It must just be in the beginning. This is something I noticed, and I want to know if the scenes when they were at the betting, when the guys were betting outside, right? Yeah. Okay. If you look on the first column, they obviously have Sub-Zero written down there. Did you notice the S is wrong? The S is the same as the Z. So whoever was writing that stuff does not know how to write an S. Like I did notice it was a pointy S. Yeah. Well, the S, if you look at the S and the Z, they're the same thing. So I'm sitting there going, that can't be right. Like that has to be somebody who doesn't know how to write an S. Doesn't he speak English? Well, maybe. Or maybe they're saying that the people on the ground level like that are poorly educated, so that's how they would write it. Whoa. Do you think that this film has, because you think how similar do you think it is to today's world? Obviously not as much, but I mean, the TV aspect of it, we're not quite there yet in terms of watching gratuitous violence on TV. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever get there, but this film is not new. This topic is not new to this film. That kind of idea has been in other films before. Oh yeah, where reality TV becomes something of a well, obviously because Squid Game and all that stuff, right? Squid Game, are they doing? Is that like a TV show or is that just a game they're playing? Because I never watched the show. I don't think Squid Game is televised to the regular world because it takes place in the real world, but rich people are watching and betting on the game. Okay, well maybe like Battle Royale. That's I know that's stuff like Battle Royale, Catching Fire, or the Hunger Games. Yeah. Maybe RoboCop had it a little bit. Yeah, I'd buy that for okay. Yeah, they weren't killing people, but their game shows were ridiculous and gratuitous in other ways. I can see it like because I think we were like in the 90s kind of getting to there, not like with killing people, but it became more ridiculous in terms of like what Fox was putting on, and like The Simpsons would always lambast Fox for all those things. So I think that works. All right, so I've been doing lines this whole time, Butler. Do you have any that I haven't done yet that you liked? I mean, I said the "I'll be back" line is obviously really good. How about a light? Come on. But a light. me and my big mouth, we should have gone to Hawaii. And then Arnold, that's what Amber says. And Arnold goes, I had the shirt for it, but you fucked it up.
I like when he's signing the contract and he stabs the guy, the lawyer in the back. He's like, he's like, don't forget to send me a copy. I actually love too.
So Mr. Spock, you get the com. Who's Mr. Spock? And it's the second time that happens because Killian's on the phone. He's like, Gilligan's Island. You know, yeah, the one with the boat.
I know I said the plane zero line, but what I like about that too is that he says that the plane zero, and then they cut a kill, and he's like, we'll be back after, and in the background you just see them slapping 5, like, yeah. Just killed the dude. I'm just like, yeah, all right, slap that 5, all right.
You bastard, drop dead. I don't do requests.
Yep. That's awesome. I mean, that's the end of the film. That's great.
I think that's pretty much like, all the ones that I really thought were funny.
What I wanted to ask you, or what I wanted to talk about, because I don't really know the answer to this. When Bruce Willis did Die Hard in 1988, and he was doing the same thing, cracking wise, all this stuff, that was heralded for that kind of, like, you never had seen an action movie star do that, or like an everyday guy, but also he's just making jokes and they're funny. But Schwarzenegger had been doing this for a while. So I'm curious if you think that he's overlooked because of that. That I know, and I think we've talked about it on the show about how that kind of style of action from Willis wasn't really done a lot until Die Hard. But in all honesty, Schwarzenegger was doing that before Die Hard came out. So I'm curious I'm sure there were other instances of people doing this in films, but in terms of it being popularized in the 80s, what do you think of that? Am I off there? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think John McClane and Bruce Willis, they're kind of heralded for being sarcastic kind of jerks about it.
Okay.
But yeah, certainly not the one-liners. That's Arnold's thing. He was doing, like you said, he's doing that for years before that. Certainly in Predator and in this film.
Commando.
Was Commando before Die Hard? Or Commando might have been right after. No,
Commando's before this film. Commando's before. Yeah, pretty sure it might be the same year, but it's
he did Commando, Predator, and this film in the same year.
Yeah. Remember I told you I'd kill you last Sunday? That's right.
That's right. You did.
Yeah. I lied. Like, yeah, drop them.
1985, Commando was 2 years before this. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, he'd been doing lines like that whole time. So,
yeah.
I don't think, John McClane's type of, like, because like you said, everyman. Arnold is certainly not an everyman. He's a Superman. But I think Arnold is overlooked as, obviously, he's great at action, but he is so funny and he is so good at delivering a line. And, Commando, Predator, Running Man, Terminator 2, True Lies. Obviously, True Lies is kind of like where it's exemplified.
And you get a bot.
Kindergarten Cop.
Well, I think once he did Twins and Kindergarten Cop, I think that's when everybody else realized that. And that's when you started seeing them in other stuff. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's overlooked for his comedic timing, his one-liners, like his, I guess, not so much being like sarcastic dialogue, but just like his zingers. He's definitely overlooked as being like, he's the zinger guy. Like, he's the guy that started that.
Well, what's funny is, I'll say, not funny, but I'll say this too. Also, when you had Die Hard come out and you had John McClane and all this stuff, and then even Lethal Weapon, when Lethal Weapon came out with
Riggs and Murtaugh.
Riggs, but think of the actor, Mel Gibson. You had a ton of, like, you had projects that were now pitched to be like, oh, like Lethal Weapon, but with this, like Die Hard, with this, even when you had Speed, with Keanu Reeves, like, it's like Speed in an ice hockey rink, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All those films. And then obviously Jean-Claude Van Damme comes and Steven Seagal, but like with an Arnold film, I don't think it's, and tell me if you agree or don't agree with this, that his movies are so him, that it's very difficult to replicate what he's trying to do. Like, you can't say like, oh, give me a an Arnold, give me a Commando, but with Steven Seagal or something like that, because I think Arnold is just as important to the movie that he is in than the movie itself. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. I think that, I think people wanted to hopefully have that in The Rock, and they didn't kind of really get that. I'm not disrespecting The Rock. I just think they hoped he would be Arnold, and he wasn't. He was kind of his own thing in all the different stages of his career. And there was never anybody who really replicated The Rock and the way The Rock, or not The Rock, rather
Arnold,
Arnold. And there's no one that can replicate Arnold. And no. I don't think you should. And I think a lot of people know you can't, because you get like the Total Recall reboot knew what they were doing, and they went with let's just base it on the book.
Yeah,
let's get Colin Farrell. We'll base it on the book, the story. We'll go our own way. This new Running Man, we'll base it on the book. We'll go our own way. I think people understand that, you can't make an Arnold vehicle without Arnold. You can't do that. Like whatever James Cameron is writing for Terminator, if he finishes it, I know he's having a hard time doing it, but I'm sure he's going to write something very different, because he knows that he doesn't have that Arnold. He won't have that Arnold this time to be Arnold in the Terminator movie. You can't put another Terminator that's exact same as Arnold, because he is those characters that he is, because they're all Arnold, another facet of Arnold. He's one of those actors where, they are them, but in this role.
Right. You like simple thing is you can like any of the Rock films or John Cena films, or, you can remove them and put somebody else in there, and it would be pretty much the same film with a little bit differences here or there. But you take the Arnold Schwarzenegger out of a film and put somebody else in there, it is not the same movie at all. And when you put him in a film, it is a different film. So, and I think that's a testament to him. It's a testament to just his charisma. Like he is a movie star. He is not the greatest of actors. He's not going to, hide into a scene, but he is a movie star. And I think he changes the outlook of any film. Whereas The Running Man, if somebody else is in The Running Man, Mike, I don't think I would enjoy this film as much. I think I enjoy this film because Arnold's in this film. Yeah. And even the fact that, and here's another reason why he's a movie star. If I just say I'm going to see an Arnold film, you know who I mean. You know what I mean? I don't
just the last first name. Yeah.
You don't know. You know already what I'm seeing. So I think that's just a testament to just how great he is and how overlooked I think he is, because I don't think people understand that. Even maybe not now. Back then, I don't think we knew. But I think looking back now and experiencing it and seeing what we watch now, like it's just impressive. And like I said, I think the biggest thing is like if he's not in this film, I'm not talking about this film as I am right now. Like that's a fact. That's the fact, Jack. That's just how it is. So we kind of talked about the new stuff, the newer one coming up. I know this is a lead up, so we don't do Wise Forgotten or anything like that.
Right.
So I think we're both looking forward to this new one, or at least this new iteration. I'm probably more looking forward to it because of the director, not because who's in it, because I think the director is extremely talented. Edgar Wright.
Oh, Edgar Wright's a great director.
Right.
I'm interested in it to see Glenn Powell. This is like his kind of, not his make or break, but this is where we see if he's really got that, if he's the next Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt. He's the one last true superstar, like a lot of all these tabloids and magazines are saying, which, and we've said on the show before as well. We've been like, Glenn Powell could be. He's at the precipice. This is kind of, this is where you kind of, this is his make or break, I think.
Right.
For that, not his make or break for his career.
No.
This is where it's like, does he have that star power?
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I've been watching Chad Powers on Disney Plus, and it's how I say sometimes it's good, not great. It's fine, not good. It's okay. Like it's not his fault. It's okay. Some stuff's funny, some stuff hits, but it's some of the jokes they're just not funny, but it's not his fault. But yeah, so it'll be interesting. I really kind of want, Mike, I really want an action star like in the vein of Schwarzenegger, an Arnold guy that's not polished. I don't want somebody that's, you know what I mean? That's just well, you know, I don't want somebody that's cookie cutter. I want an action star that is maybe out of nowhere. So I don't know where that's coming from. I know that like The Rock tried. I know Cena's tried, and Dave Bautista tried, but he wants to do, you know, serious acting. Okay, that's great.
Well, I think Batista always did serious. I mean, I don't think Cena tried, because I think Cena kind of got into the game too late. And I think he kind of I think he realizes that in like interviews and stuff. Like he just kind of was like, I'm WWE. He gave The Rock crap for trying to pursue a career. And then he's like, he had to double back and apologize for that like 5 or 6 years ago. He's like, back during that time, that was who I was. I thought he was betraying that because that was my life. Now I realize there's other stuff. But it's like now John Cena's 50. So it's like, if he could have been next Arnold, it's gone. We don't have an action star. We don't have a true action star, and we need one of those big guys. Yeah,
we need one, and we need one that like you can believe can kick some ass on screen. And you know, I don't know where that's coming from, but everything's too old. Exactly.
Everything's aging out.
Everything's cyclical. It'll come back, just like I talked about rom-coms. Hopefully they'll come back. They're non-existent, but like these type of films need to come back, and they will. But you don't know when they're going to come back or how they're going to come back or where, but they will. And if I have to get my action overseas, I will. But I mean, I like the Extraction films. Scratch those itch. John Wick scratches that itch a little bit, but the Extraction films are really good in terms of just action.
Watch those, the Chris Hemsworth ones.
You'll like those. But
John Wick is different kind of action because it's like gun fu. So it's like that's more like
the first one.
See, the first one, kind of a thing.
I like them all. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy them all. But the first one was such a surprise that I think that's why the first one I prefer it. And there's, you know what I mean? It was a little bit more, it was less CGI than the others. I like them all, but the first one is more of an action film to me, a visceral action film. But you're right that the next three become what you talk about, like that gun fu kind of stuff.
Right. Forrest got that staircase scene that too. I love that staircase scene.
No, I love the John Wick films. I do. And I mean, will I like them if I revisit them in 10 years? Who knows?
But the difference in that is that's another guy who's just got a gun though. It's not, you know, the thing is about Arnold's action hero roles and some of Stallone's is it's one guy who would like just knock the gun out of somebody's hand and just crush their head, you know? I think that's what we're looking for. We're looking for those kind of not superheroes, but almost superheroes.
Sure. Yeah, but live in the real world kind of thing. Yeah. All right. So check out The Running Man. Where'd you watch it? Did you watch it on?
It's on Netflix now.
It's until
October 31st. So by the time this comes out, actually, it'll be gone from Netflix. I watched it on Netflix before the expiration date. But yeah, Paramount Plus, it's where it's going to stay because it's a Paramount movie.
There you go. Watch it there if you can. If you're not, try to find it.
Paramount, we'll take our money now. I'm just kidding. This is not sponsored, unfortunately.
So then there you go. And then we'll look out for the Running Man now showing that we're doing. And then I know we're going to be doing another Predator Badlands as well, but I'll let Mike kind of dump into that. So Mike, why don't you let them know where they can find us?
You can find us right here, wherever you're listening or watching. Go ahead and like, rate, subscribe. All that stuff helps our show. Comment below. Who do you think is the next Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stallone type, you know, big action hero guy, if there is one? You know, if you like the show, we also have a Patreon. We have exclusive episodes there. We have merch discounts, Discord access, all that good stuff. You also just can join for free to keep up with what we're doing. And we're doing a lot. We have our regular show every Wednesday where we talk about forgotten films that seem to be forgotten by audiences, whether it be because a more popular movie was released at the same time or the film simply didn't catch on with an audience in its initial run. Forgotten Cinema, like I said, every Wednesday without fail. As soon as we finish recording this, I have to finish this week's episode. And then, without fail, we missed 1 week every Wednesday.
There's always the tentative moment when I open my Spotify to see if the new episode is there and I'm not texting you, hey, man.
Technically, but it was on YouTube. We've also got we're doing this show. We have our lead up series. We have a ton of lead up episodes. We have our now showing series where you're going to, like Field said, you're going to get the Running Man this month. You're going to get Predator Badlands. You're actually going to get Badlands before Running Man because of the way the release dates changed. So check out those. In December, we're doing a Knives Out lead up where we're doing a Knives Out. And then Glass Onion, followed by Wake Up Dead Man, which is the newest one when it releases. So we've got a lot of content for you there. Who knows what we're doing next year? We
don't even know.
Meetup to talk about that. We're right beginning season 23 right now in terms of recording. We've just finished our Forgotten Horror run. When you're watching this, so go back and check out Forgotten Horror 7. The Nightmare is Real. We had a lot of fun doing it. We have a lot of fun doing that every year. So check out those episodes. We did an interview with the creators of the indie film, hit horror comedy film ZombieCon. So we even did an interview. We've got so much content. You won't believe it.
Too much.
So you should go back and check it out.
That's it. So we'll see you next time. Check out all the stuff that Mike said. I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Cinema Lead Up as I kick the mic everywhere.
Nice.
See ya.